And let's try some with the bacon and the yogurt or cream. Wow, now that I highly recommend. That's just not for purely aesthetic purposes. That really does give it an absolute edge. The crispy bacon on the top there with the nice contrasting of the yogurt in there is quite remarkable. Hey guys, it's the Keto King here, and today we're making a keto creamy broccoli and bacon soup. Don't leave the channel just yet. I know broccoli soup may not sound like it's gonna taste good, but I can promise you this is fantastic and it is really easy to make. The ingredients you'll need for this keto broccoli soup are some bacon, broccoli of course, some yogurt or some cream, any type of broth or stock that you would prefer to use, and then some salt and pepper. That is it. Let's get right to this keto recipe. Alright, so grab yourself a pan, turn on your heat to a medium-high heat, then you're just going to add a good helping of olive oil on the bottom of the pan. Now if you're using regular bacon, you can use a little less oil, but if you're using anything else, that like I am doing for today's video, then you're going to need a decent amount of olive oil in your pan. Let that heat up a bit. Now that the oil's got some heat to it, we're going to add in roughly 145 grams worth of bacon. Fry that in the pot here until you get a bit of color on the bacon. And the shape of the bacon that you cut it up before putting it into the pot really doesn't matter, because this is all going to be blended up in the blender, so it doesn't matter. Just get it in the pot and fry it up and get some good color on it. Alright, and now that we've got a bit of color on the bacon there, we can add our broccoli. I'm adding in around 366 grams of the broccoli. Now what I've done is I've cut this roughly about an inch or so, maybe an inch or two below the actual head of the broccoli. So putting them in like this, you want to keep them fairly flat. You don't want them too bulky because we need to cover them with the broth or stock. So something looking a little like this will work perfectly. We're adding in around 360 grams of broccoli. Turn down your heat just a little bit and then give this a stir. Now the broccoli should absorb some of the nice juices that have been created from frying or cooking that bacon in the pot. My heat's on about a medium heat at the moment. Gonna let this go for just a few minutes. Alright, and then next what we're gonna add here is some broth or stock. Either one will work. All you need to look out for is something that is low in carbohydrates. If you can see this on the camera, this is only 1 gram of carb for this entire container. Look, it's a small one here. It's only 236 mils, but nonetheless, it's only 1 gram of carb in here, which is perfect for this recipe. Now, I'm using a chicken broth. You could use a vegetable broth, any type, really up to you. So what we're going to do is just add enough of this to simply cover the broccoli and the bacon. So I don't have an exact amount for you, but just go and eyeball it with whatever pan or pot that you've used to actually put your broccoli and bacon in. Whoa! Give that a good little mix around, especially if you got some nice color on the bottom of your pot. That'll just enhance the flavor of this dish. So now after putting in the second one of these chicken broths, so now I've put in around, if my math is good here, just under 500 milliliters, under half a liter worth of broth. And this is what it looks like. Let me get you a closer shot there so you can see. So it's not fully covered, which isn't a problem, but as you can see, the broth is pretty high up on all of the broccoli and the bacon. That should work perfectly. So if your liquid isn't already boiling or bubbling like mine is now, turn up your heat so it gets to a boil. Once it does, we're going to turn down the heat and we're going to put it on a simmering temperature so the water and the liquid actually simmers for around 20 to 30 minutes. And before we put the lid on, we're just going to add in some salt and pepper. I'm just going to add in a few cracks of this pink Himalayan salt. No real quantities for now, because once we're done actually making the soup, we can put some additional salt and black pepper that I'm using here in to taste and just get it exactly how you want the soup to be. So that should be good for now. Give that one little stir. And this smells amazing already. Pop on the lid and we're going to let that simmer for 20 to 30 minutes. Alright, then after 30 minutes, this is looking good. As you can see, the broccoli has cooked down somewhat and it's nice and soft. I can just push this wooden spoon right through even the thickest part of the stalks. That's what you need. So take this off the heat, let it cool down just a bit for maybe 5-10 minutes. So then we're going to grab our cooked mixture here and just simply pop it into a blender. Even just that tastes really good. So now that we've got it in the blender, we're going to pop it on the base and give it a quick blend here. Alright, and then I've got a cup of Greek yogurt here, 250 mils worth. I'm going to add in half of this, blend it up, and then I'll add the rest of it afterwards. So now's the time to really assess the thickness of the soup and also the taste. So give it a taste, see how thick it is. If you want it to be a little bit more liquid, then add the rest of the yogurt or the cream if you're using that. So I'm going to add the rest of that cup of the yogurt that I put in. Then we can just dress the soup with a little bit of the yogurt or some of the cream in the middle, whatever you've used in the actual soup. And then you can put on some extra little bacon pieces you have. And you end up with a creamy broccoli and bacon soup like this. Okay, and as always, you guys always ask me to do a taste test, so here we go. So if we look at the consistency of the soup, it's a fairly thick soup. Wow, that flavor is really, it's quite incredibly rich and deep, which is quite remarkable considering how few ingredients there are in here. And let's try some with the bacon and the yogurt or cream. Wow, now that I highly recommend. That's just not for purely aesthetic purposes. That really does give it an absolute edge. The crispy bacon on the top there with the nice contrasting of the yogurt in there is quite remarkable. Definitely recommend doing this, and you can put more bacon and more yogurt than I actually put in here. But otherwise, what an incredibly keto-friendly, exceptionally healthy soup for you. All of those fantastic vitamins and minerals that you're getting from that broccoli is just wonderful. I mean, we're all doing this keto lifestyle to be healthy. You can't simply focus on the macronutrients. You've got to remember those vitamins and micronutrients, and this is definitely ticking all of those boxes. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this creamy broccoli and bacon soup, please smash that thumbs up button. It really helps the channel. Let me know in the comment section below what you think of this recipe. I love to hear from you guys. And of course, subscribe to the Keto King so you don't miss any new keto recipes uploaded to my channel. And of course, keep it keto. Then we're gonna just take this mixture that we put in the blender. I'm gonna blend this up. I wonder if my hand's in this one. And then we're gonna just now that we've got it in the blender, we're gonna pop it on the base. It's just wonderful. I mean, we're all doing this keto lifestyle to be healthy. You can't forget your veggies and you can't forget your vegetables. You can't forget your vegetables and micronutrients. You can't simply focus on the macronutrients. You've got to remember those vitamins and micronutrients, and this is definitely ticking all of those boxes.